because you're everything that she's not. You know what I mean? You're attractive, you're intelligent, you're accepted, people like you. You're getting on with your channel and just doing your thing. Now, I can tell you right now that jealousy will be hanging out of her. And if she sees that we have accepted you on our channel, that's going to make her 100 times worse, because that she loved being in our channel.
I think we all know who that is. And that was the very early days of our friendship, when she was a reasonable, rational person, and when she was very kind. You know, I've got to show her, and there's more to come. This is just a teaser. You know, I wanted to show her in the more positive way. You know, she wasn't always what she eventually became, which was, you know, she eventually became a very, very unpleasant person, but she wasn't always like that. She could be kind, she could be thoughtful, she could be caring. And whether that was an act or not, you know, it's up for debate. But I just wanted to make this video to show my support to Helen Chaffer. And if you want me to change the thumbnail, I've done the best job I can of not showing your complete face, and also taking, you know, a very nice photograph of you, and editing it so that it's not the full photograph. But I just wanted to show my support for Helen Chaffer. Helen Chaffer and I have had a difficult past with each other. We didn't always get along, but I'm seeing now that Helen is, you know, even though there are things with her, you know, we've got different opinions on certain things, like the Claire Morgan situation. I think in essence, Helen is a good person, and she's never, ever done anything to me. And it's very upsetting to see that she can't even go on a holiday and have a nice time and enjoy herself, which she has every right to do, without being bothered by a person from that side who has absolutely no life whatsoever. And I think that was the problem with Bam. She had no life in the end. And so she took her unhappiness and misery out on other people. And that's what this person is doing, who's very much a wannabe. You know, Helen has a right to go on holiday to Spain, have a nice time. And it makes me feel good to see her happy. It really does. And, you know, Martin is not my favorite person. Martin and I are not friendly with each other. We're not friends. We have a past. But if Martin makes her happy, then I'm happy for her. And I just want to say something to the Ruzek supporters as well, because I kind of ditched the Ruzek supporters and I ended up being on Bam's side. And, you know, that voicemail was a voicemail. She was talking about me, and she was talking about somebody else being envious of her being envious of me being on her channel. And, you know, Bam was always about comparing people, superiority, winning over somebody, jealousy and envy. And I think that's what Helen is experiencing right now. She's experiencing jealousy and envy from that side, particularly from one person, because Darzen's not doing this stuff. You know, Darzen was actually the nicer person. You know, they want to see you the way you were at the beginning of the year, where you were talking about, you know, your struggling mental health issues. They want to see you sad, and they want to poke fun at that. That person can't stand to see that you're on holiday enjoying yourself. And as far as I'm concerned, you look great. Just because you're not a size 2 and you're not skinny, doesn't mean that you don't look great. You know, I remember when I was 14, and I was desperate for curves. I was so skinny and I was desperate for curves. And people used to tell me how I had a great figure. And I didn't feel like I had a good figure because I was thin. I didn't have any shape at the time. You know, when I started to have shape, and when I started to fill out, and when I started to have curves, and when I started to put some weight on, is when I felt like I had a good figure. I didn't feel like I had a good figure just because I was slim. And I think this is the mistake that a lot of people make, that they think that just because somebody's slim, it means they've got a good figure. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And in fact, some men prefer women with a bit of meat on their body. I certainly prefer to have a bit of meat on my body. So, you're getting that because they're green eyed. The person is green eyed, Helen. And I just wanted to show my support for you. I support you. I want you to be happy. And it's really, really makes me happy to see that you're happy. And like I said, I realize that even though I've had my issues with the Ruzek supporters, I don't donate to Frankie's fund. I don't donate to Frankie's fund, and I've admitted that. And even though I've had my issues with some of the Ruzek supporters, and I'm not friendly with every single Ruzek supporter, and some of them still don't like me, I have to say the Ruzek side was the better side. Even though I've had my issues with some of the Ruzek supporters, the Ruzek side was the better side. The Ruzek supporters are kind, have compassion, have empathy, sympathy, and they don't go around following people and harassing people. So, that's what I want to say about that. I'm really sorry that you're going through this, Helen, and I just want to tell you that you've got my support 100%, and you have every right to go on holiday and enjoy yourself. Now, this part is going to be very uncomfortable for me to talk about and discuss, but I'm going to do it. I'm a very stubborn person, okay? I'm a stubborn girl. I admit it. Once I'm done with somebody, I am done, and I don't go back. And that means in relationships, either platonic or romantic, or in between. And I just want to say something about this, even though it's going to be uncomfortable for me to talk about it. Oh, right, here we go. Let's see if I can muster the courage. This feels like when I'm ready to go shopping, and when I really, I'm sitting there thinking, I really don't want to go, but I know I have to do it. I really don't want to talk about this, but I have to. I feel like I've got to do it. So, JC, I loved her, okay? And there's many reasons why I loved her and why I still love her. But her and Scott are having this, well, it's really more her onto him than him onto her. Let me just say this. I'm not ready to write Scott off, okay? I'm just not ready to do it. Maybe I will one day. Maybe I'll say to myself, he's gone too far. He said the wrong thing. And I just have to be completely, I don't want to have anything to do with him. Maybe one day I'll say that. It could be next week. It could be next month. It could be next year. But I'm just not ready to write him off at the moment. Yes, he's done and said things that I don't agree with. Absolutely. He's done some outrageous things and said some outrageous things that I really, really don't condone or agree with. But he also has a very loving, sensitive side to him. And I also know about some of his issues from the past. And I also know that he's a performer and that he sometimes will go too far. Whether he thinks that or not, I don't know. But I'm just not ready to completely write him off or abandon him. And look, he's criticized me in the past. But the fact of the matter is that whether people like it or not, and people are calling him my boyfriend and all this, not, all of this stuff. I haven't said that, and he hasn't said that. What I do know is that, yes, I do like him a lot. And I don't like seeing people talk badly about him. And it makes me uncomfortable. Having said that, I am aware that he's said and done things that, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have. But I'm not ready to completely abandon him and put him down. And I also am aware that all of us have certain traits, and none of us are all good or all bad. And he's so romantic. I can't even believe some of the stuff that he comes up with, and even the AI song that he made for me, the stuff that he put in there. like I wouldn't even think that he would think those things. Like his attention to detail. Um, he's also he's just not all bad, and I'm not able to just put him down and say that he's just a bad person. I just can't do that at the moment. I'm not able to do it at the moment. That's just me being honest. Okay. Um, I'm just not able to do that. And even though it's uncomfortable for me to talk about this at the moment because there's been so many people against him and providing, footage and stuff that he's of things that, I don't agree with the AD stuff that he's calling AD that word. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with everything that he says and does, but I'm just not able to abandon him and write him off at the moment. I do care about him, and that's the honest truth. So yeah, that was very uncomfortable to talk about, but I just thought I would say that. I would just be open and tell you how I really feel.